Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. A lot of confusion in the market right now, a lot of fear in the market right now. And unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that fear is very much justified. We are in a very, very dangerous position for Bitcoin right now. The compression that has marked and been a main characteristic of the last 3.5 weeks of Bitcoin, the compression that was the most intense compression and the tightest compression we've seen since literally January 2023, over 2 years ago at the end of the bear market. That was the last time we saw compression this intense. That compression has come to an end, and we've plummeted, unfortunately, to the downside, about 10% downwards on Bitcoin in 48 hours, about 19% downwards on Ethereum in 48 hours, gone all the way back down to a support zone that was pretty fundamental in late last year, a support zone down in the $2,000 region. This is brutal stuff that's occurred here. And of course, this drop raises some very, very serious questions. Some of them are very difficult to answer. One question is, will $86,000 hold? There is a support zone at 86K. It's a minor support zone, but there is a chance here that Bitcoin can swing upwards from 86K and salvage the situation via having a decent weekly candle close. It's a long shot, I will say, but it certainly is possible. I'll also answer the question, when will Bitcoin's bull market be considered over? And that's down at the weekly chart Gaussian channel around the 74K region at this point in time, or a little bit lower than that. So we've got a little bit of breathing room here. But the problem with Bitcoin is this, right? Although we have breathing room, and this is what we'll get into today as well. Although we have breathing room, the vast majority of that breathing room is a price range that we've barely ever seen any historical price action in before. We have spent a total of 4.5 days in Bitcoin's price history between 74,000 and 86,000. There's no data there. We have no idea what will happen if Bitcoin drops into that range because we have no historical data, and historical data is, of course, the basis through which we can make predictions. So, the vast majority of this buffer zone between here and the bull market invalidation zone is a price range in which we have no data. So it's pretty scary stuff, I won't lie. But we'll do our best to cover the situation effectively today in a short period of time. So guys, check out the Bitcoin exchange before we get into it. An exchange that's never been hacked before, which is big, by the way. It's been around for 3.5 years, hasn't had a single hack. So if you left your money on this exchange for 3.5 years, it would not be going anywhere. That's extremely good track record. It's global, non-KYC, which means you can sign up from anywhere in the world with just an email address and a password, no VPN required. And it's got very low trading fees that are made even lower with my exclusive 15% trading fee discount, which will be attached to your account for life on every single buy and sell you make if you simply sign up with my referral link down below. So go down to the pinned comment, go down to the description. If you're interested in this exchange, which I think you should be personally, I use it a lot. It's my main exchange at this point. You can use my referral link to sign up. And if you use my referral link to sign up, you'll get a 15% trading fee discount. And you'll get access to this exchange, which is good. So check it out, guys. If you're interested, of course, links are down below. Let's get into it. Right, it's very clear Bitcoin's broken down from something. Now, the reality is we don't really know yet for sure if it was a macro range breakdown. I think it was, but it's very difficult to say at this point because you could make an argument that the bottom of the macro range, it's a stretch to be honest, but you could make the argument that the bottom of the macro range is at 86,000 because that is where we stopped this initial move to the upside for the first time and started seeing the first degree of consolidation there back in November. It only lasted a few days, all right? It only lasted a few days. The vast majority of the consolidation was above 89,000, and that's why I do believe the strongest evidence is that this yellow line on the screen here, which stems backwards from the 2021 cycle, is the basis of support for this macro range. That is broken now, of course, but regardless of whether it's a macro range or not, there is a vague support zone at 86,000. And I do see this as a potential bouncing opportunity. Do I think it's likely? I have absolutely no idea. I'm going to be completely blank with you. I do not know. I do not know what's going to happen next on Bitcoin here. And I'll tell you why. We've seen momentum indicators break to the downside. Descending triangle formation, gone, broken to the downside. We've seen the Bollinger Bands, which had the most compression, 700 days, validating a crucial, downside break. With that downside break, we've broken below the yellow support line, which we held for 3 months. We also broke below the pi cycle line. We also rejected on Ethereum, for example, from a major resistance zone and came right back down to another major support. I could go on for minutes. The point is, this breakdown, whether it's been a macro breakdown or not, has been very, very serious. And now Bitcoin is at genuine risk of forming a double top formation. In fact, it's already formed one to a large degree. So regardless of what I think might happen next, regardless of my intuition, regardless of any of that, the fact of the matter is Bitcoin needs to do something here, and it needs to do something fast, because if we drop below 86,000, like I said in the introduction, things start getting very, very sketchy. Now, let's be very clear here, okay? The bull market, the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, which is what the bull market is, it's the 4-year cycle, can only be properly invalidated if we got to the end of this year and we were not at all-time highs. The bull market, the 4-year cycle, is based on dates, not on price. So if we got to the end of the year and we were not at all-time highs, that is the only way the bull market can possibly be fully invalidated, right? Obviously, that means, if it is invalidated here and we just don't know it yet, you could be holding for a long period of time, holding all the way down and lose your entire net worth, right? So it's not really a good strategy to wait until that point and just hold blindly. You do need to react to the market circumstances. So I would say that a good middle ground is looking at something like the weekly chart Gaussian channel. The weekly chart Gaussian channel is an indicator that's been very influential in Bitcoin's price history. Generally speaking, in fact, almost always, when we have entered this Gaussian channel, we have moved through it. So entering it equals moving through it, and that means major moves to the upside of a downside. I'm just drawing lines of when we entered it and moved through it in the past. And if we entered that Gaussian channel again, I would expect us to move through it. And if we move through it, I doubt we would make it back to all-time highs again for a 4-year cycle top, and therefore I would assume the 4-year cycle would be broken if we entered this Gaussian channel. It's currently sitting at around 71,000. That's not a coincidence. 71,000, or that rough price region, is the top of the prior macro price range, and therefore if Bitcoin breaks back into that prior macro range, I would say that the bull market is officially over, at least to a large degree of accuracy. Okay, so we have breathing room here, but as I mentioned in the introduction, the only thing stopping us from entering a massive zone of uncertainty, which is the zone between 74,000 and 89,000, a zone in which we have no historical price action whatsoever, is 86,000. That's it. This level at 86,000 is the only thing stopping us from entering that no man's land. And after that no man's land, right, at the bottom of that no man's land is the end of the bull market. That's where the Gaussian channel sits, and that's where the top of the prior macro range is. So we are on the, we're on the edge of a cliff here. A cliff not only through which, you jump off and you'd fall to your death, but a cliff through which we have no idea what's down below, because there's a layer of clouds that's blocking our view. So we'd be jumping into the complete unknown, and below that complete unknown would be the end of the bull market. So extremely dangerous situation. And let's be very clear here. I think that analogy might have confused you more than it helped you. I don't think that entering this no man's land means we'll definitely go down and end the bull market. I'm saying I have no idea what happens if we enter this no man's land zone between 74,000 and 86,000, because there's no historical price action there. There's no historical data. There's no indicators. There's no moving averages. Nothing of note is actually in that region. So we could very well form a new support there, but it'd be completely unexpected and we have to take it as it comes, right? So realistically, the last known place that Bitcoin can reverse here, right? Forget about the unknown. The last known place that Bitcoin can reverse here is this $86,000 region. And the prime opportunity for Bitcoin to do that would be the weekly candle close, which is coming up very shortly in 4 days. Now, one thing we can aim to get back over on that weekly candle close in 4 days is the bull market support band, a very obvious thing we should be getting back over. That bull market support band is lining up with the bottom of our prior macro range here in yellow. So if we got back above both of those things, we got back above the bull market support band and we got back above that yellow line, so basically getting back above $92,000 in time for that weekly candle close, we can list this as a fake out and we can say that Bitcoin is likely to continue higher once more. If we do not do that, we are in serious trouble. And if we want to be absolutely particular, 92,000 is the bare minimum. I mean, realistically, it would be great to get over something like 94,000, because this major line that stems all the way back from 2011, the biggest line in Bitcoin's price history that I've ever seen, that is very valid, that has many interactions of support and resistance historically speaking. Take a look at the screen here. You can look at the interactions yourself, right? This line is currently breaking down. We're breaking down below that line. That's not good. There's been fake outs before, but it's very, very rare. The last time we saw a fake out was back here in July 2024. Before that, it's been years, okay? It's rare to see fake outs. That level's steady, sitting at around 94 to 95,000. So realistically, getting back above 94,000 on the weekly candle close would be absolutely ideal. Getting back above 92,000 would be a bare minimum. If we get back above neither of those levels, look, it's looking quite rough. Another reason that the weekly candle is so important is because the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap, the altcoin market cap, is currently right on top of a weekly candle support zone on the RSI that it's been holding since June 2022 for almost 3 years. It's held this level on 7 separate retests, historically speaking. This is the 7th one. We do not want to break that. I'll tell you that right now. Another reason, S&P 500, right? It goes outside of cryptocurrency, just like Bitcoin. It's struggling with that bull market support band. We need to see that bull market support band hold. So the weekly candle is going to be a big deal. Bitcoin needs to at least get above 92,000 on this weekly candle. And in the short term, it needs to hold 86,000. If either of those things break, if $86,000 break or the weekly candle fails to get above 92K, we could be heading straight towards no man's land, through which we have no idea what will happen there. And just below there is our bull market invalidation zone via the weekly chart Gaussian channel. So a very dangerous situation, a situation marked and plagued by uncertainty right now. I mean, what a cycle it has been. It's been a very interesting cycle. Probably the most difficult cycle I've experienced, I'll say that. And I've experienced, this will be my 3rd one. And by far, this one has been the sketchiest, right? 9 months of consolidation back here in 2024. Now this, it's very interesting to say the least. But the cycle is not broken yet, so fingers crossed. Thank you guys for watching. Again, check out the Bitcoin exchange. You can check it out. It's global non-KYC. It's never been hacked before in 3.5 years of trading and being active, which is extremely good. I trade on this personally. It's my main exchange. And with my referral link down below, you can sign up to get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life. So if you use my referral link to sign up, which you can do so without a VPN from anywhere in the world, takes 30 seconds, you'll get a 15% trading fee discount on every single buy and sell you make from the original prices attached to your account for life, just with my link down below in the pinned comment and description. Check it out if you're interested. And the very last thing I'll mention is my VIP group on Telegram. If you're interested in getting access to 4 trading signals per week, I post them on Telegram in video format. You'll also gain access to an exclusive group chat with 160 other VIP members. Those trading signals, by the way, have a 78% win rate, which means, the results have been tracked for about 2.5 years now. It's fully transparent in a PDF trading document. You can view them all for free, so I don't hide anything. I'm very proud of those results, so check them out. Guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you soon.